Welcome to the Dawg Chug. Roger, how are you doing today?
Andy, I'm doing great today. Started my new job on Monday, and things are going good. Bombarded me with computer work, which you guys know my computer skills. Um, they're lacking, but the girls in the office have been great, and just excited. New chapter in my life, a little more responsibility, and I'm ready to go. I worked for them for some years, left, and they called me and wanted me to come back and made me an offer I couldn't refuse.
Wow. So you
Yeah.
were working for a great place and then you left. Why did you leave?
Well, I left. They had a lot of veteran guys that have been there for years, and I didn't see me moving up to where I wanted to go. What I did is I got a little, I put the cart before the horse. I wanted everything at once, and it worked out though. Two guys retired, one guy died, and they had a spot for me
Wow.
to come in. I've been doing what I do for 35 plus years, and grew up in it. Third generation commercial plumber, so. They had a spot. They needed somebody that had my knowledge and experience, and they offered me the spot to come back. And it was great. It was great.
Well,
Great reception.
to that guy dying, I'm sorry for his family, but it worked out for Roger and his family. So
Right. Hey, you know what? He's a good friend of mine, and he's a really good dude. And when I heard about it, he died on the job.
oh my God.
And I'm like, that's probably how I'm gonna fucking go. I'll be in a day. Yeah.
Is that a very dangerous field?
No, he had a massive heart attack.
Ah.
It's dangerous. We you got to be OSHA guidelines, and you got to work smart. Yeah, construction could be dangerous if you don't work smart.
Has anyone ever fallen down a drain and died?
Not a drain, not that I know of. No, but drains. Generally, we build. We're inside the building. So it could be a big fucking building. You can't fall down a 4-inch drain. That's usually what comes into a building is 4-inch. So no, I've never had a. I did find a guy dead in a ditch back when I was a chief. Worked for us. The old Polak. He was an old Polish immigrant, and he came to my uncle's shop and he asked for a job. He didn't even speak English. My uncle would pay him to mow the lawn, clean the shop. Next thing you know, he'd go out working with us. His name was Basile, and my cousin. We were doing the jobs, Rockside Road, Crown Point. We were building those buildings, Rockside at 77. And my cousin said, "Go get Baz," and it's a big giant construction site and all the ditches. And I'm walking, I'm yelling his name. And I go past the ditch and I look and I see his boots. I'm like, Boz. I run over. And this is before cell phones or even pagers. And he's dead. He's gone.
Jeez.
We had a longer lunch break that day.
Wow.
Yeah.
You could tell we're in the dead of the off season, and we're 19 days away from free agency because we're basically going on for 10 minutes about plumbing and very morbid stuff. I hope tomorrow that you stay safe, Roger.
I always have 5 minutes, Andy. I get paid by the hour. I take my time.
Something we've never really discussed on the Dawg Chug is I get up at like 9 a.m., right? But you get up pretty early.
Yeah, right? Depending on where I have to go. Like the previous job, I was going to Lorraine County every day. I was going down to Norwalk sometimes. We had a big job down there, and I get up at 4 o'clock. And how late are we up sometimes after the show?
This dumb show goes till like 11:30 sometimes. And then for some reason, we just sit and talk to each other for a good hour. And I don't even understand why you don't just tell us to fuck off and jump off.
Because Ed, I can't even say goodnight. I can't get a word in because Ed, by that time, Ed's nonstop.
I see that good friend Cody Grimm is watching. So shout out to Cody.
Cody.
Have you on the show sometime.
Yes, absolutely, man. I want to bring all of our friends, people that we meet in the chats, and next week we're going to have an awesome guest. Kevin McAndrews is going to come on. People know him, Big Kevin Sports, and we got him coming on next week. Man, big time guest. We got a great guest tonight. Stepped in. I'll let you talk about that.
Yeah, we have a great guest lined up tonight. Actually, return guests, a fan favorite. We're bringing them back.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, fan favorite with the ladies, I hear.
And with Ed.
That's just in the trip.
Also, I want to do a show mention that we still have the challenge to win one of these amazing Dawg Chug pint glasses. All you got to do is come on our show and drink 5 beers in 1 minute. And if you can successfully do that and be the first one to do that, you're going to win one of these amazing glasses. We're going to ship it to you absolutely for free. So man, get lined up. I think a lot of people inquired they wanted to do it, but you're going to have to go a step beyond that because I forget immediately when someone says, yeah, I'll do it.
Right. You got to keep hammering away. DM us and send a video. Just do it. And,
And also another show note. Unfortunately, this is the first episode of the Dawg Chug that good friend of the show, Jessica, is not going to be watching us live. And we almost canceled the show because it felt like we were talking to ourselves.
Right. It was just, she's here every week. She's a trooper. She hung in the early days when we were real bad. And she encouraged us and came on multiple times. And
when we were really bad implies that we are now not really bad. And that's unfortunately not true. We are still really bad.
Well, we were really, really, really bad when we started. So she hung in there during those days.
I'll give you that. All right. So we're going to have some fun tonight. And the first thing we want to do is we're going to bring on the one, the only, the great Ed in Columbus.
Edward.
We're going to do
What's up, Dawg Chuggers?
a new segment. I don't know if anyone's familiar with the Barking Browns. It's a little podcast out there that Ed sometimes helps out on. And they do this great bit. The best part of the show, Ed, is go for it, right? And Ed asks two questions, and then he poses to the host of the Barking Browns, will you go for it or are you punting? And, well, they stole from us, so we're going to steal from them. We have come up with a new little concept that Ed's going to be involved in called Moving the Chains.
Move the chains. We're moving the chains.
I'm going to bring Ross on here, too, so that we can all you can pose your question and we'll all get a chance to answer. So, Ed, I'm going to hand the show over to you. Take it away.
Okay. Well, let's move the chains. Would you guys move the chains with this question? And that question being, Jimmy Garoppolo is back in the news again. And because of our ESPN Cleveland, Tony Grossi had a story in his TLOD article today about Mr. Garoppolo. And it basically was inferring, well, he has some inside sources, Murakami from some San Francisco Telegram, I think, basically that Jimmy G is available for a fourth round pick and a conditional pick, which is the highest it could probably be is a second round pick next year. Would you guys move the chains this year if you're the Cleveland Browns and Andrew Berry with Jimmy Garoppolo?
All right. I guess I'll start.
Yes, go ahead, Indy.
I'm absolutely not moving the chains on that one. I don't want to make a lateral move, and I'm not saying Baker Mayfield is down to Jimmy Garoppolo's level, but I think I think Jimmy Garoppolo's upside is about Baker Mayfield. So if we're gonna move on from Baker, I wanna get someone a little more exciting than Jimmy Garoppolo.
It's only a fourth round pick, though. Only a fourth rounder.
Well, yeah, I don't want to waste a fourth round pick to have what we already have.
That's fair, I guess. Wrong answer, but go ahead. Roger, are we getting Jimmy G? Are we getting sexy in Cleveland for a fourth round pick?
No, I wouldn't do it. And kind of the same way what Andy is saying. Why make a lateral move? Jimmy G doesn't, like the world. He hands off just as good as Baker Mayfield does. So why make a lateral move? Fourth round. I mean, I'm willing to give a second if it was a substantial upgrade from Baker Mayfield. You know what I mean? That. There's no sense in trading. You could take that fourth round pick and bundle that with a 5 or something and move up in the draft and get a kid to fill a hole on this roster. If you're gonna trade away a fourth round pick. So no, I wouldn't move the chains on that.
I like that. Ross?
I'm going to turn the ball over on this one. not moving the chains. He's too similar to Baker. He costs more money. And then if you get him, you got to find a way to get rid of Baker and give him to someone. There's just too many scenarios that have to play out for that to work. And yeah, I'm only giving up Baker if we're going like all out, like guaranteed top 5 quarterback. That's when you give up all the assets. Like Andrew Berry and company are too smart to do this.
I agree. I think that we went perfect on that one, honestly. I think Jimmy G, I think he would be – look, if we didn't have Baker, I'd say, yeah, go get him, obviously, especially for that price tag. But with what you guys are saying, I can't argue with you. And plus, I think Baker at his best is still better than Jimmy G. I think that's what it comes down to. And right. I think that, we saw the pictures. He's down in Florida with the soccer team that's in it for a state title. And he had one picture with his arm not in a sling. And, you know, Baker was, you know what? I got my feels with that one. I got my feels. Like, that's my quarterback. And, you know, and look, I bash him all the time, but he's my quarterback. And, hey, I'd take him over Jimmy G. Now, the second question.
Hey, Roger, any chance you want to talk about some more plumbers dying? Because this is going a little long.
We're on the second question, Andy.
Right,
second question, since it's the best question. Now, we all love the Dawg Chug. We all love it. I mean, it's taking over Cleveland. It's Cleveland's best podcast. We all know that. But what a title says a lot about everything, right? You name something. You name your child. You name your restaurant. You name your animal. The Dawg Chug featuring Ed in Columbus name change. You going for it? Andy, what say you?
I am absolutely going to turn the ball over on this one. If we're going to change the name, I think we should change it to the Dawg Chug being anchored down by Ed in Columbus.
It's got Ed in Columbus in it. I like it. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna roll with that one. So that was a turnover.
I know we suck, but you bring us down to even a different level of suck. So thank you for that. It makes me feel a little better about the job I'm doing.
Thank you for acknowledging that. Thank you for acknowledging me. Thank you. Roger, what say you?
Oh, Ed. Yeah, sure, Ed. No problem. Let's move the chains on that.
Yeah. Ross. Now, everybody. I know Ross.
This isn't some kind of tiebreaker.
I want everybody to know this. I want the audience to know this. I have been where Ross is right now. I have been in his basement. I've met his family. I know Ross and I are like this. So I know Ross is going to move the chains, right?
Man, you sound like a politician, but you forgot to kiss my baby. So you're not winning me over one bit. I'm turning the ball over on this one. The only thing I'll consider, I would move the chains if you made it the Dawg Chug sponsored by Ed in Columbus, and we get something back in return.
There you go.
Because all we get in return now is bad puns and terrible history lessons.
Yeah.
Just give me a price. Just give me a price. I love me some me. Just give me a price. There's always a deal to be made, guys. Well, thank you guys for the great rousing first edition of Move the Chains on the Dawg Chug. It probably won't be back for a second edition, but you know what? That's not a bad thing.
I think we're going to write the questions from now on.
I think we should just scrap it.
Yeah, I moved the chains for you.
Oh, that was great. Wonderful job, Ed.
Ed's the best. I love Ed.
Thanks for bringing original content to the Dawg Chug.
He's literally the fourth best member of the Dawg Chug. If we're not including Kelly and Crutch.
And Ross's cat.
And Ross's cat. All right. Let's move on to the Chuggies. This has been an amazing year of the Dawg Chug, and we've had so many countless memories. So Ross actually put together a little awards show for the best moments of the show. And I think he's going to unveil one of those categories today. So take it away, Ross.
All right. So the Chuggies, it's our annual award show. We're still kind of deciding what is considered the MVP, the best player, defensive player of the year. But, we'll let the fans decide what the most important award is. But I think we're going to start off with the real winner here. It's the Best Chug Award. I mean, we are the Dawg Chug. You've seen what Andy could do on his Twitter posts. It's kind of why people watch this show, honestly. They don't want to hear what we have to say. They just want to see what we're able to consume in under a minute.
Right. What Andy's going to put in a glass.
So I'm going to show everyone slew of our chugs from various podcasts, and then we'll reveal the winner. And we're going to do a chuggy every week from here on out. Maybe it goes on forever, maybe it doesn't. Just depends how much how much legitimate content I could find scouring through the archives of the Dawg Chug.
Good luck.
So maybe we'll go 2 weeks.
Look at them go. They're chugging. They're hugging the boots. They're going down. It's free flowing. It's going. You know it.
And this is the boot race that Andy and I did.
Says he can do it.
Andy does this in under a minute. There's 4 beers inside each boot.
Looking at that boot says, I got this. Andy's looking at that boot. He says, it's not as cold as the other one, so let's go, fellas. Let's go. Roger with
some wonderful commentary from Ed in Columbus.
A winner right there, but he won't be a winner on Saturday.
Are those girls still drinking?
He's got Nick. Oh, this is a close one. This is a photo finish right here. Down the stretch they come. Chug, 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 chug.
And there you go. So that's Andy doing that in under a minute, I believe. It was like right on the money minute, and then I did it like 10 seconds later. A little more challenging when you have the boot mechanism to deal with.
Yes,
Andy says that boot's done. Ross says I'm done with that. These boots are made for walking and chugging. Let's go.
Wow.
And yeah, I
That
struggled a little bit at the end there.
It's some chugging, fellas. No loser.
15 seconds is start.
And here is Ed's attempt. We had the challenge where he had 30 seconds to do as many fireball shots as I did. And then I had a minute to chug as many beers as I could in a minute.
Starting as soon as I see it touch your lips.
Okay.
You look scared.
All right, he did 1 shot. He did 2 shots. You got 10 seconds.
Oh, boy.
3 shots. He's going to pour a 4th shot. You have 2 seconds. 1 second. And he got down 4.
So that was Ed doing 4 shots. So we got the boot, the 4 shots with Ed in 30 seconds.
4 is the answer. Wow. So this is exciting.
Look at his face.
Wow. It's like I
Ross actually chugged
make
6 beers, so you're only down. You're down by 4 now. So good.
Go.
So then here, of course, is Andy doing a 9 fireball shots in a minute.
Ross, start saying something, Ross. Or get the cat back on.
That's
here.
shot number 2. Shot number 2 is down. He's pouring again. Quick pours.
Shot
Whoa,
number
look at
three.
that.
I
believe I got the
technique. It's
count
almost like he's done
completely
this
wrong when I
before.
was doing
3
my
shots down.
Oh
commentary.
my goodness.
Jeez.
4 shots
Jeez.
down. Oh no, Vegas is worried. Vegas is starting to get a little bit worried.
God.
5 shots. Oh my goodness.
What's my time?
Jeez.
We got 34 seconds.
It's so disgusting.
6 shots.
Ross, he's really.
You
This
got
is unbelievable.
27 seconds left. And was that 7?
7. Oh my God.
Oh
Ooh.
my goodness.
I saw that.
All right,
When
all right.
when
This is
that go?
painful.
This is God.
Okay, you're at 8.
I'm at the
If
point
you
where I
puke,
want
you
Ed.
automatically lose.
I want Ed to start talking about sock puppets again.
She was pretty hot.
Okay, if you do
No,
9, you don't have to do 9. You don't have to
6,
do 9.
Andy. 5.
Do it.
4,
Do it. You're gonna
3,
lose if you don't.
2, 1.
Are you ready?
Wow.
And then lastly, there was Kelly doing, what was it, 5?
You tell me when.
You did 6.
Starting now. Go ahead.
6. And they're off.
I've
This
Kelly
never
on
is
seen
shot
bad.
glass number 2, 4 and a fast one.
You
Right
don't
to the
remember
face.
seeing
this? Oh yeah, you Doesn't never even saw phase that,
her.
right?
Yeah.
Here she goes.
This,
You were.
This is gonna be
Andy was
bad.
hidden for this
Oh
one.
boy.
So he couldn't
That's
know how many
2.
shots she was doing.
God, it hurt.
this episode.
After
of
3,
Dawg Chug is
things
brought
start
you
to
by
really burn.
Alcoholics Anonymous.
Oh man.
Whoa.
I don't have an esophagus.
I know it burns.
It
I
does
like
burn.
to
Hey,
sip
Andy, you
it
think,
slowly,
Hey,
guys.
you
think
guys
we
pick
have
up
Gator
more
pick
pace
order?
there.
Kelly,
Oh,
don't
yeah.
worry. We'll lie.
Have
We'll
to
lie.
down.
Hey, Roger. We'll lie. Don't worry about it.
Whatever
You
I
gotta-
need it. I like to sip on my own pace.
Hey, look at Andy's room. I got lost down there.
We are at 4, and anyone watching is more
I need
than
water.
welcome to chug along.
Man, I took like 5 shots. I can't feel my throat.
Well,
It's all
I was
good.
drinking earlier.
So
Wow.
yeah, those were the first 4 nominees. There's one more, and that's my 4 beers in 1 minute, which we never aired on the Dawg Chug.
Oh,
No,
are we
it
gonna,
doesn't
are we
matter.
gonna air that today?
So Andy, do you want to start by saying like why we're here?
Opportunity that if he chugs 4 beers in 1 minute, we need to burp after this one or not.
Well, there was
17
one down there
Everyone
before I
took 10
started.
seconds.
You can slow down a little bit, and he's good.
I offered him if he does all 5
Ah.
beers, I'm going to give him the Chiefs, but he refused.
You have 30 seconds,
There,
Ross.
30 seconds. Last one.
Yeah, this he could have
Like
done
watching paint
500.
dry,
It
isn't
looks
it?
like.
Is it getting
And
painful?
he's like, "This is horseshit. I did 5."
You're good.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna call that. That one's.
12.
And he did
You're
it.
done. He did. You did that. You did that.
Wow.
52 seconds.
Never.
And then I do
finished.
have an honorable mention that I'm going to share. This is definitely an honorable mention because there's no way it's going to win.
All right.
I want to say sorry in the
I can't
Dawg
even
Chug
see
way.
it.
Words don't work. It's through actions. So I will chug one for the team.
This is Ed just
for you,
chugging
Andy.
one White Claw.
I'm sorry.
It's for me. It's for the entire
Oh,
show.
Ed. Go, Ed. Whoa.
I can't even see it. What the fuck?
Classic dad.
We can't see you either.
Swallow.
That looked really awkward.
Ed.
I'm not a regular.
So that wraps up the chuggies
Wow.
for this
Those were
week.
Great, though.
Wow. Well, Ross, that was excellently put together. I agree. I think we should let our guest vote on who wins, because why would we have like a good method to pick a winner? Let's just ask whoever is on this week.
Yeah, I tried getting a committee, but it was just all 12 of Ed's personalities.
All right.
He kept winning every award.
We're going to vote live, but our only guest isn't watching tonight.
All right. Well, great job putting that together. I can't wait to see the Chuggy nomination next week. What you get put together, that's going to be awesome. So really excited about that. But let's go ahead and bring on our featured guest. And yes, you all know it's true. We're bringing back Gator. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, boys?
Good to
Gator,
see
what's
you.
up, man?
Man, how
The
we doing?
feedback when you were on was just through the roof. Everyone was like, when are you going to have him back on? And
Don't
we're
put that
so
pressure on me.
glad that
Yeah, I don't
you
like that. Tell me it's
They all said they were going to like determine if you do a better job this time or if you're weaker, and we're going to publish that. So it's going to be really exciting. I want to start
Stressing.
though. Which of those chugs does Gator think deserves the win of best Dawg Chug chug?
I was watching the one time when you did all of the fireball shots. And the suspense was mounting because I thought we'd be like Ed at work. We might see a dead body in the ditch.
Roger work.
So when you were chugging all those, or when you were taking all those shots, and we all knew that you only needed to like chug 2 or 3 to beat Kelly, and you just kept taking shot after shot, and nobody was stopping you. That gets the award from me.
Wow. So the
Yeah.
best chug isn't even chugging; it's
Not even
doing
chug.
shots. Nice.
You
Are you
asked.
sure? You're sure you didn't like take a bathroom break and miss when Ed did that amazing chug of the White Claw?
That was pretty good. I mean, I wouldn't call that a chug either. So,
Yeah.
I guess maybe when Ross did the 4 beers, that would be my runner-up, or that'd be my first real chug award winner, I guess.
That was really good. You could really see him struggling at the last quarter of that beer. There is definitely a capacity issue going on.
Well, we can't all just open up our throats and pour beer into our stomachs like you can.
Yeah, to
so.
be fair, it's not opening your throat because you're not drinking beer that fast. It doesn't take that long to drink 5 beers. It's your stomach just gets full and there's this pressure and pain. It's horrendous. Heather says, you don't know what it's like to be pregnant. And I always throw, well, you don't know what it's like to chug 5 beers. So fuck off.
I think you should have a segment on the show where you bring Cody Grimm on and he chugs for 30 minutes. 1 beer.
Our friend Cody is he's amazing. He is not a very good beer chugger.
I think he does it on purpose. I think he's just an asshole.
I think when we first met him, he couldn't even like chug beer. He had to drink that Wild Irish Rose.
Wild Irish. Was he 16?
Well, when we started hanging out watching the drafts, yes, we were very young and he looked like he was 16. But anyway, I think when we have Cody Grimm on, he's gonna have to drink a Wild Irish Rose. That'll be fun.
That's great. I say we do a live Mad Dog challenge like we used to do back in the day.
I am game for that.
She'll get weird real quick.
Right. The Mogan David.
How is everything going with you? It's been like a month since we had you on.
I'm doing all right. I had COVID, which was inevitable. It was like a matter of time. I felt like I was dodging bullets left and right. So,
isn't that like the third time you've gotten COVID?
Well, yes, but it was like the first confirmed time, right? Like I probably had it at least 2 or 3 other times, but I didn't have any tests to test myself to make sure that's what it was. So yeah, I've pretty much been like in and out of quarantine and whatever, having COVID, but it didn't kick my ass too bad this time. So guess that vaccine thing works.
It might work a little bit.
Yeah, right.
Nice.
Go with
Well,
science.
I'm sorry. to
Yeah,
hear
that's about it. I'm
COVID.
alive.
I'm glad you're over it. I'm glad you got that Omicron. What you call it? The defense. I think that's going to really protect everyone for the next 6 months. So
Yeah, I'm pretty much just made up of antibodies at this point. So bring it on. Bring on what's after Delta. Bring on the beta, the alpha, COVID omega. I'm ready for it.
Omega.
All right. All right. Well, before we begin, I think Roger, you have a top 10 that you wanted to do.
Yeah, I put together a top 10 list for tonight. It seemed to be appropriate from what happening on Twitter and the discussions. And what I put together is a top 10 reasons John Dorsey failed miserably as the Browns GM. We got the top 10 reasons
This is
right here.
I could write a book on this topic.
Yeah.
So let's hear
We
your-
did last night at about 11:30 when we started putting this bit together when we realized we didn't have enough.
Don't break the fourth wall that I'm helping you write these. Come on.
Number 10, he drafted aspiring recording artist Major 9, A.K. Chad Thomas, at number 67 overall, based solely on his Masked Singer audition tape.
He's a good locker room guy. He needs someone in the locker room that knows how to sing. So that was a good move. I don't blame him for that.
Yeah, that was a quality pick. Number 9, any dude that wears the same outfit to work every day is either in the military or a huge fan of Matlock. Matlock.
Heard of it.
Number 8, watching it was hard to tell if he was building an NFL roster or the next cast of Suicide Squad reboot.
Because he always drafts criminals. Yes.
It was 11:30 at night. Number 7, he traded away multiple picks for a slot receiver that had more miles on him than JW collects in frequent flyer miles to Vegas. Then, bidding only against himself, he gave him top 5 wide receiver money.
Ooh, not good.
He's a fan favorite still. He changed
In
the
his
culture.
defense, I feel like at the time we all thought these were great moves, right? Kind of.
Hindsight's a beautiful. Not me. I'm on record. I got receipts. Ask
Yeah,
Terry Pluto.
I thought he was fantastic. I was
Terry
ready to buy
Pluto.
some of those shoes he wears all the time.
I like
Terry-
bringing Landry in. I did not like the contract they gave at all.
Terry Pluto sent me a free book to leave him alone, writing him emails. I swear to God, he gave me a signed book. Him and Joe Tate, a signed book, just to stop emailing him about John Dorsey. Number 6, Dave Gettleman, one of the worst GMs in NFL history, fleeced him for a starting safety, a 3rd round pick, a 17 overall pick, and a loaded wide receiver draft. And what he got was 1,600 yards, 7 touchdowns in 3 seasons, and some banging TikTok videos. That's what he got for that.
Yeah.
Number 5, despite being quoted as saying he likes to see young men mature and become responsible men. Yet he still traded for man-child Odell Beckham Jr.
Wow. 2 OBJ.
Yes.
Well, champion man-child.
Contradicted himself. Number 4, he traded away a Pro Bowl interior line talent. Then he drafted the Sooner Smurf. The Sooner Smurf. Number 3, Hugh Jackson told him to get the fuck out of his office, and he did. Number 2,
Right when you read that.
Number 2, he was so far in over his head during the coaching search, he said, fuck it, and he hired his bastard son, Freddie Kitchens. And the number 1 reason John Dorsey failed miserably as the Browns GM, 4 words. Sorry, I can't count. Tyrod Taylor, buddy boy. And that's our top 10 reasons John Dorsey failed miserably. I'm Roger First of Cuyahoga Falls, and you're not.
Wow. Well done.
Good job, sir.
I give that one a-
I do that, and we worked in a pinch last night, Andy and I. He's typing away, and I'm typing away, and
Couldn't tell.
yeah, mashed them together. Yeah, good tell. That was quality
You
content.
worked on that all week. You're amazing.
We got about 13 minutes in that bit.
Heading
I
close.
have a question.
Oh boy.
Roger, do you blame John Dorsey why you failed miserably during that bit right now?
Yeah, he was the topic. Of course I blame him.
Sure.
Why wouldn't it be his fault? I wouldn't have wrote it if it wasn't for him.
Good one, Ed. That's very funny. I'm gonna boom. That's my favorite. It's the only reason I continue with the show. I actually wanted to quit, but it's so fun kicking.
Do you ever just bring him on, and then as soon as he gets ready to say a word, take him
Go
off
on.
the screen immediately?
Go on.
Like right now?
I felt kind of bad throwing Mayfield in that actually, but it struck me as funny. I'm not a basher. I'm not a bro. I'm in between, but I thought Sooner Smurf was funny. Again, it was 11:30 at night, so.
He's only 1 inch shorter than Jimmy Garoppolo.
I know.
Just
I know. I needed a number 4, Gator. I needed. I had one about ratty old sweatshirts and resale shops, and Andy's like, "What the fuck does that have to do with being a bad GM?" I was like, "Absolutely nothing. I don't see the issue." But
All right, let's move on to spit. Sip.
please move on.
Our fun little bit we do here on the Dawg Chug. You're already familiar, Gator, with Spit Sip Chug, but I'll just explain the rules because I hear we have a lot of new fans watching today. I'm going to make a statement, and if we're all going to get a chance to do a little round table, if you strongly agree, you'll chug and explain why. If you're tepid, you'll sip, and if you strongly disagree, you will spit. So, without further ado, here's the first question.
Bring it on.
Overall, the defense will play better than the offense for the Browns in the 2022 season. And Gator, we're going to start with you.
All right. I'm going to have to chug on that one. Because I think our defense could be, top 5 next year. There's just too many question marks right now with our offense, right?
Yeah.
And you're comparing like two polar opposites, right? Like as of right now, the wheels are falling off of pretty much everything in terms of the offense. I don't even know who our wide receivers are going to be. The Schwartz guy and DPJ and then somebody else. Like, we don't know who's getting the ball. But I think the defense, like, you got a lot of young guys. They're all going to be learning that system even more. Like, it'll be their second year. Like, I think it's a firm possibility in the first round or, maybe second round, we go with an edge rusher and, put somebody across for Miles that can really kind of light things up. And I think that defense could be, like I said, top 5. So chugging on that one for sure.
All right. I'm going to go next. And I agree with everything you said. That was a very well thought out answer. You spoke it amazingly. However, in Cleveland, we have this little thing where whatever we think we know, we're wrong. And if you'd asked this question a year ago, you would have been like, "Oh, we're gonna have a top 5 offense, but the defense, I don't know." And ultimately, that's not what happened. So, just for that reason, I am going to spit on this one and say we're absolutely the offense is somehow going to be better than the defense.
I applaud that logic. That makes more sense than fucking anything I've heard.
It absolutely
Browns
changed my.
Twitter in 10 years.
All right, Roger.
I'm going to chug on it. I think the reason, they started out slow, I think Woods held them back and kept the brakes on them, and he wanted to feed it to him. My theory is give it all to them at once and let them learn on the fly and see what works and what they figure out. And but my reasoning is Myles Garrett. If we remember when all that bullshit was going after the Pittsburgh game and through those, Myles Garrett was talking to reporters, talking about how the defensive side of the ball needs to get their act together. They need to do their job. They need to concentrate. And people are like, why is Myles ripping the defense? What Myles was doing was keeping them out of the drama that was going on the offensive side of the ball. The little circle of girls over there picking on each other, pulling each other's hair. I think the defense really showed up, and like Gator was saying, I see a top 5 defense with our 2 cornerbacks with Newsome, Ward, and Greedy Williams played really well. And then you got AJ Green. I'd love to see him keep MJ Stewart at safety with Delpit. And, JJ3, he started to come around at the end of the year. We got some holes up front, at the tackle position. but I know Andrew Berry's I think that's going to be his top priority is fixing that defensive line. I think they believe that defense wins championships and they need an offense that just ain't going to lose games, and I think that's kind of the recipe that they're shooting for. And then because the proof is there, the defense can be a top 5 defense. I'm with Gator on that. And yeah, definitely a chug.
Wow. Well, I got to say, based on that answer, you have just been traded to the Barking Browns for Nick Carnes because that was way too technical analysis for this stupid show. So
I know.
We're taking Nick.
I'm like Will Ferrell in Old School when he gave that answer and he came back to react.
Blacked out.
You know where the fuck it came from.
Ed in Columbus just said that Roger is like Ed tonight because I think he thinks you went on a little long. And speaking of, I want to hear Ed's answer on this one, how he would answer this one. So, Ed in Columbus, I pose to you: the defense is going to look better than the offense. What say you?
I think it's a
Yes.
That's what that was for you.
That deserves a chuggy.
Oh, that's so good.
I nominate that for a chuggy.
All right, let's move on to our second question.
Poor Ed.
It's so mean, but it's so good.
I do feel really bad. And I'm going to let you answer this next question, and I promise I'm not going to, even though it would be hilarious to do that again, I'm not going to do it again. Or maybe I will. All right.
Yes, you will.
The Browns coaches deserve the reputation of pushing their players to play through injuries to the detriment of the player. In other words, it's been said lately that we're pushing our players through injuries too hard. And are you saying the coaches are at fault or not? Roger, we're going to start with you.
Give me the end of it again. I'm sorry, Andy. You kind of.
Yeah, I wrote this way too fast. So essentially, people on Twitter are saying that maybe we're pushing our players to play through injury too much to where, Jarvis Landry came out recently and said that he came back too early. Jedrick Wills was clearly in no condition to play and was playing. So is this on the coaches? Yes or no? On the coaches.
I don't know. I'm gonna sip on it. I'm gonna sip on it, and because of there's no evidence to back it, saying that that's what they're doing. But then the eye test, you look at it, and there's guys out there on the field that probably shouldn't have been out on the field during the season. I don't know. I read an article. I remember an article during the season where they were testing mental toughness and seeing what guys are made of. I'm just going to sip on it. I don't know. I don't think that I like to think that wasn't happening. I think that Kevin Stefanski is a professional and that wasn't a goal or it wasn't spoken that, hey, make these guys go out there and push them. I think it just kind of happened in desperation to win football games more so than anything.
I am absolutely going to spit on this one. Ultimately, it comes down to the players. I think that the Browns are very analytically focused, and the doctors say what they say. And if they say you're good to play, and you decide to go play, it's up to you. They let the players make the decision. And I think we have a lot of competitive players on the team that wanted to live up to the high expectations we had, and they played probably when they shouldn't have. But they put that more on the players than it would on the coaches. Since the coaches gave them the freedom to do what they wanted to do. And maybe that's not the right move, but I don't think it was the coaches pushing guys. So
yeah.
Gator.
I'm going to chug on this one.
Whoa.
How dare they put those poor players out there who are barely making enough money to put food on the table, and they're hurt. Andy, Roger, they're in pain. They can't go out there and perform. You stub your toe or you got a hangnail, just hang out here on the bench for a while and sip some Gatorade and, collect your paycheck. And when you're feeling 110%, then we'll think about getting you back in there. That's why we got quality backups ready to go at any moment. I don't know their names, but I'm sure they're there on the practice squads all over the place. So how dare Kevin Stefanski put those poor guys out there to play? No, there's no way any other coaches in the NFL do that.
No.
As soon as a guy gets hurt, they're on the bench. You don't play through that. No way. Chug the whole time.
Wow.
Changing my answer, I'd like to chug with Gator.
I'm chugging too. All right, I'm going to bring Ed on. Ed?
Fuck you, Andy.
Andrew
Oh,
Barry's not
Ed.
happy with Andy. All right, let's hear your answer on this one.
I'm with Gator. I mean, these poor players. I mean, haven't they heard of load management like the NBA? Like, you know what? You got a hangnail. Take the night off, man. Just chill out, man. There's other games. There's other games, man. Chill. Anchor, what do you think? Just chill, brother.
Excellent. Well done.
He definitely thought you were going to run him off as soon as he started talking.
Well,
Right.
He wasn't ready.
I had planned I was going to do it, but then I'm like, it's too obvious. I'm not going to do it.
I'd rather
He
see him
doesn't
sweat.
have anything prepared, so it'll be hilarious to watch him. Anyway, let's go on
Keep
to our
on his
last
toes. I like it.
question of Spit Sip Chug. It's been suggested we shouldn't even give this person attention, but I don't care. No one's watching anyway, so he's not getting any attention. The question is, Off-Season Chops is the worst Browns fan on Twitter. And Gator, I'm aware you probably don't even know who this is, but he is a...
Oh, I know who he is. I go to his spaces all the time.
All right, well then, why don't you start?
So what am I spitting
Is
or chugging on?
Off-Season Chops the worst Browns fan on Twitter?
The worst?
Yeah. All right, Roger, we'll start with you. We'll
I'm
let
not ready
Gator
for
finish
this.
his
Yeah.
thoughts. Gator,
Right now, I'm going to chug on it right now.
wow.
At this time, because Twitter moves fast. We're going to have a whole new worst Twitter account by, March. But right now, in the circle and in the news feed and in the chat groups I'm in, this guy is definitely by far the worst. He's back and forth on so many topics. He told me tonight we need to trade Kareem Hunt because it'd be cheaper to keep Ernest Johnson. Ernest Johnson, a free agent. He's going to get way more than Kareem Hunt. He's this guy. He's got to stick to Madden and his spaces, and they should have an emergency spaces for Madden and talk about Madden. And yeah, I'm chugging on it. He's awful. Victor and Mr. and Shenanigans and Mr. Brightside and McAndrews and all those guys. They go hard at him, and it's fun to watch. I enjoy it.
All right, Gator, have you come up with an answer to this
I
one?
thought about it, and I'm gonna sip.
All right. You're tepid.
I don't think he's the worst. Like, there's people that are way worse on Twitter than him. But at the same time, he's pretty annoying, to be honest. Like, it seems like he's an axe to grind. Like he's pissed off. I think something happened with him and Baker somewhere down the line, and now he just wants to, nonstop. I mean, there's way worse people on Twitter, like, I don't know, Rally Possum, shit like that.
He's got like 3 Baker jerseys hanging in the closet. He's probably got $500 wrapped up in Baker jerseys, and he's pissed.
Rally Possum is a very funny account. Everyone should follow Rally Possum.
It's the worst.
All right. I am on this one. I agree. He's kind of annoying. I really wasn't even that familiar with Chops for not that long ago.
Potato, they call him.
Yeah, I wasn't that familiar with him. But looking at his stuff recently, I definitely think he's looking to attention. I don't know. He recently said that the fact that the Cleveland Browns Instagram hadn't posted about Baker proves that they're going to move on from him or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Which is a stretch.
But he makes good points. He's a little asinine.
People it gets him a lot of attention. He craves attention. I don't like people that crave attention on Twitter, but he's absolutely not the worst. So I'm spitting on this one. And I feel like I should show some evidence. Yeah. Right there.
That was good. Good job out of you. I wasn't even ready for that. That was great.
I know. I missed it. I blinked.
Thank you for setting that up because I didn't think you were going
He gets so
to just
excited as soon as he comes on.
I wish you could freeze frame them.
Actually, though, I want to say, Ed, your tweets are some of the most clever, creative tweets that I've seen on Twitter. You put so much energy and thought into them, and sometimes
I
they're hilarious.
proofread them too.
Most
Guys.
times I don't. Okay, I'm trying to
English.
compliment. Most times I don't even know what the hell you're talking about, but when I do, they're great, and it's your personality, in chats and stuff that you get a little annoying, but your tweeting is great, so you're definitely better than Chops in my book. And how would you
what?
answer that
Can I
question?
talk? Am I allowed to talk?
Yes.
I was saying about proofreading and grammar, which I think a lot of people can attest to, is horrific on Twitter. I seriously, it's like going back to the Stone Ages. It's like, come on, guys. English is our language. We can use it properly in a way to express ourselves without all the shorthand, jibber jabber, kid talk. You know what I'm saying? I can't take it. So that's why I always like to proofread and take that extra 30 seconds, because when words are misspelled, it shows sloppiness. It shows like you're discombobulated. It shows discombobulation. It's tearing up the nation.
Where's the button?
It's horrific, and we need to fix that. So guys, proofread your tweets before you hit
Good luck
send.
with that, Andy. Good luck with that, Ed.
What are you even talking about now? I've asked you.
I can't believe you're still on here. Andy has a
I know. Andy's pouring a beer. That's the only reason he's still on.
Yeah, it is absolutely true. Sorry to the audience for pouring that beer at that specific
I am
time.
sending my therapy bills to you, Andy, because this is taking its toll on me. Running me off like this. I'm scared to talk now. How am I going to communicate with my children? I'm afraid they're just going to go on.
That was perfect timing.
Thank you, Ross. That was not me that cut you off that time, Ed. All right. Well, we're going to have to bring Ed back because we are about to play our game for this week, and maybe we'll even get the show in under an hour, which would be amazing. Gator, you've already won a game last time you were on, so you're actually going to be eligible to have 2 entries into winning for this month to get a.
So how many times do I have to win before I don't have to pay shipping on one of those glasses?
Yeah. So the reality is, if you win, you're going to get a shirt. We're going to ship the shirt to your house, a Dawg Chug shirt. We haven't even made the Dawg Chug shirt yet. It's in process. If you want the glass instead of the shirt, all you have to do is pay the shipping. Or we'll give you the glass next time we see you, which is more likely because I'm probably going to see you soon.
He's going with the option B.
That sounds better. I refuse to pay for shipping and handling. Will not happen.
Very good.
I don't
if
blame
anyone
you.
wins one of our contests and wants the glass, all you have to do, we're going to be at tailgates and everything. You can come get it then. I don't know. But for us to ship you the glass, we looked into it. It's very expensive to ship a glass, unfortunately. So we're not doing
You
that.
still going to that one tailgate in May?
On May 12th.
14th.
14th. I always do that. The Top Dogs tailgate. Roger, do you remember the details?
Yeah, the Top Dog tailgate is going to be in Berea. You can go to his Twitter page, Top Dog tailgate, and get all the information. It's a good cause to rescue dogs, and I'm going. I don't want another fucking dog. We got 2 dogs. I don't want another dog. I'm going. I'm going to drink some beer, and we're going to hang out. But it's a good cause, and the guy works hard. The guy works real hard.
It's in Berea? It's not
he's got a hall rented in Berea. Right? Yeah.
Yeah, he's got an outdoor area he's got a
outdoor area.
license.
Yeah, not a whole. Yeah.
You park, you have fun, and then you drive home.
I really have.
Yeah. The entire Dawg Chug group will be there.
Yes,
it's going to be a lot of fun. We'll sign on. We'll give if you win one of these, we'll give you those. It's going to be great. So. Let's move on to our big feature game. And Ed, I'm going to bring you on. Ross, I'm going to bring you on because we're all going to be involved in this one. Okay. So essentially what's going to happen here is Ed, it's the year of the Ed, right? We're going to develop Ed and make him an amazingly strong personality. We're going to take this. We're going to take this.
Is that the Ed sign?
Yeah, that's the Ed sign. We're going to take this horribly annoying human and develop him into a top podcast personality. It's obviously not easy, but we are committed at the Dawg Chug to developing Ed. So we're not doing Ed school because he failed that last week. So instead, we're going to pivot to this. I'm going to ask a question, and I'm going to give Ed in Columbus, and I'm going to give Gator 1 minute each to answer the question and give your best hot take you can possibly give. Make it interesting, make it funny, whatever you have to do. And then Roger, myself, and Ross, we're all going to vote who had the better answer.
It'll be rigged. It'll be rigged.
It's not going to be rigged. We
I don't know
rig
the
things.
questions. Does Ed know the questions already?
Ed has not heard the questions.
I don't
No
know
one-
the answers.
Nobody has heard the questions. I wrote these literally like 45 minutes before the show. So don't worry, but we're all going to vote. Whoever gets, we have 5 questions lined up. Whoever gets 3 out of 5 or better is going to be the winner. And Gator, if you win, you get a second entry to winning a Dawg Chug pint glass, or if you change your mind, a t-shirt.
So you don't really win anything.
Yeah, you don't really win. All right, here we go. Everyone listen carefully because we gotta judge their answer. Ed, we're gonna actually. How do we decide who goes first? I think
I will flip this.
No,
Buttons or batteries?
I don't trust this. Wait, why does he get to do the coin
right.
flip?
You want to coin? Do you want to flip?
You gonna do rock, paper, scissors?
Yeah.
Okay.
Rock,
Rock,
paper, scissors, shoot.
1, 2, 3.
What are you doing?
Right, let's try this one more time.
All right, do it again.
Rock, paper, scissors. 1, 2, 3.
Wait, who does it like that? Rock, paper, scissors, 1, 2, 3.
I don't know. I know.
That's how we do it at the Dawg Chug.
It's rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Rock,
Rock,
paper, scissors, shoot.
This is
What did you do? I went.
horrible, the worst thing.
All right, go first. And you can. Do you want to go first?
No, I
You
want
wanna
to
go
go second.
All right, you defer. Okay, you defer. Okay, that's fine. I'll go first.
Defer to the second half.
Okay, shout out to Drew in the Brick City. He says that the Boot Chug should have won for the Chuggies. And also Cody Grimm says 30 minutes isn't enough time. And Mad Dog Challenge, he says he's bringing the sombrero. You guys know him better than I do.
Nice.
One time I drank a Mad Dog and I drank it too fast and I thought I was wearing a sombrero, but I actually wasn't.
Oh, it's good times then, right?
All right. So I think, Ed, you are going to be first up. So I'm going to ask the question. I'm going to give you a minute to answer. And I'm cutting you off at a minute. So you have to answer faster than that. Hopefully you'll be a little bit quicker. Than that. All right, here we go. Okay. If the Browns decide to move on from Baker Mayfield this offseason, what's the best route to find a replacement? Go.
The best route, I think, would actually be bringing in somebody like a Mitchell Trubisky for a little competition. Maybe draft a quarterback in the 4th round, Zappy kid that Jacob likes very much. But, I mean, the best route, obviously, you're going to go get a Jimmy G or somebody like that. I mean, you're going to get somebody like that to compete with probably another guy like that, like a Mariota or something like that, if you really want to do that. So, I don't. I'm a Baker Mayfield. I ride with 6.
Okay. Gator.
Easy answer. The best route, if you can't get if you're not going with Baker Mayfield, is not to make a lateral move or go down to someone like Mitchell Trubisky, is to bring in the GOAT, Tom Brady. It's easy. He doesn't want to stay retired. That guy was built to play football until he's like 60 years old. Bring him to the Browns. Let's go.
All right. Roger, who are you voting for? Who has a better answer there?
Well, Tom Brady went to Michigan, so he's going to pick him.
I know your audience, Ed.
Yeah, I got to go with the Go Blue, and I got to go with yeah. I'm gonna go with that.
Ed had the better answer.
Rogers.
All right. I guess Roger voted that Ed had the better answer. Ross, what do you
Just
think?
repeated my answer.
Oh, definitely Gator here. Are you kidding me? Mitch Trubisky? He threw 7 touchdowns in a game once. That's about all he did. But no, Tom Brady, the GOAT. Why wouldn't you?
Well,
It's going to happen. Like, it's totally on the table. That was a fake retirement announcement.
For sure it was.
And just to come to Cleveland, just so he can come to Cleveland.
yeah.
Yes.
To throw to who? Who's he
I'm
throwing?
not a big fan of either of these answers. Obviously, Tom Brady is going to San Francisco if he stays. He's not coming to Cleveland. And Mitch Trubisky would literally be like, I don't know. I'd probably stop being a Browns fan if that happens.
He's not as bad as you thought. He won what? 30, I mean, he's not as bad as you guys think. And with Stefanski's system,
Oh
he
my
doesn't.
And I'm trying to vote for you, and you're annoying me. Let me talk. At the end of the day, I'm going to go with you because I think Gator's going to just destroy you on the other questions, and I want to throw you a pity vote. So you win this one.
So wait, who did Roger vote for?
Roger
Ed.
said he voted for Ed.
It could have been one of those butterfly ballots down in in Florida back in 2000. So he probably
He
voted
was
for you.
Chad or something on this one.
Yeah, right.
He was like, "Yeah, Tom Brady for sure." I'm voting for Ed.
The truth be told, I heard Andy say, "Everybody pay attention," and I wheeled back in my chair and I unplugged my speaker, and you guys didn't hear any of it.
All right.
I unplugged my headphones.
Ed,
So I was like, "Well, we'll go with that."
you won for a technology issue. So
You
good job.
won because Roger didn't hear your answer.
Yes.
And then I heard Mitch Trubisky, Money Mitch, was involved. I was like, "God damn it! I picked the wrong guy." Was he a Menor? What are you? He went to school where?
Menor,
Yeah.
We had some shitty episodes of the Dawg Chug, but not being able to figure out how to do, what's this game called? Jeez.
Rock, paper, scissors.
That's what I thought.
And then us, the judge,
Rochambeau.
muting himself so he couldn't hear the answer. This is going great. All right, let's move on to question number 2. Right now, Ed is in the lead, 1-0. Gator, you're gonna have to come back, man.
Okay.
Did Jarvis Landry this week intend to indirectly disrespect the Browns on social media?
Wait, did he what?
Did Jarvis Landry intend to indirectly disrespect the Browns this weekend on social media? Did he go into this saying, "I'm going to embarrass the Browns," or was that not the case? Gator, we need to start with you this time.
Yes, he did, because he definitely didn't do it to say anything nice about the Browns, right? He said, "Oh, I didn't, you never heard me talk about these injuries," and it was all negative to me. I mean, I didn't see anything positive about. He didn't come out and say that to pump up the Browns. In my book, he's gone, right? Like if he would have talked to Andrew Berry or Kevin Stefanski and they said, "We want you back. We will talk about your contract and bring you back in here," he wouldn't have made any comments at all. He was pissed off and he wanted to say something to hurt the Browns. And that's what he did. He's gone.
All right.
Good luck,
Ed.
Ed.
Well, Jarvis Landry being a little bit of a diva like myself, I think what he really wanted to do was he did try to offend somebody. That one person was Baker Mayfield. He knows that he's gone from the Browns because of his $16 million, but he basically wanted to say out the door, like, "You know what? You should have chose me over Baker, but you're going to roll with this guy, even though he complained about his injuries. I played tough. When I was injured, I played, and you're picking the wrong guy." So basically, yes, he's bashing the Browns, but he's hurt. He's a hurt person like I am. He's really bashing the Browns because he really wants to stay with the Browns, but he doesn't want Baker Mayfield to be his quarterback because he thinks he sucks.
Okay, Ross, who had the better answer there?
I'm digging some vintage Ed right now. He was talking as fast as he could, felt like he didn't have any time. Had a good take. Ed.
I'm going to go with Gator because I fell asleep twice during Ed's answer. Roger?
Oh, definitely Gator. It's not even hands down for me.
It's a privilege and an honor that Ross picked me and you guys didn't. Thanks.
I just don't think I disagree with Ed because I don't think I saw a lot of people speculating this like online and on the radio today that they thought he was like directly dissing Baker with that whole "I didn't say anything about my injury" comment. I think that's kind of a stretch. Like I don't.
I think because OBJ and him are really good friends, and guess what? And OBJ, I'm telling you, they're in the locker room, homie. They're calling each other on the phone, talking about their new kicks, what they're doing with their girl. He had a baby. They're dissing Baker. They're not cool with Baker. I don't know why people can't see that. They're real people too.
Ed, look.
Yeah, I just didn't think his comment had anything to do with
You
Baker.
missed it. Do you know what Ed and I, as producers, talk about Andy behind the scenes? You don't want to know.
Yes, exactly. Ross knows.
I can imagine. All right. So right now it's 1-1. We got 3 questions left. This is an exciting contest. And Ed, we're going to start with you this time. Out of all the coaches in the NFL, where does Kevin Stefanski currently rank? 1 to 32. Go.
Well, they're 8-9, middle of the pack. He did win Coach of the Year. I mean, I do like a lot. I like his defense because it's who he hires. He delegates. He's a good coach. I'm gonna say he's still a top 12 coach. I'm gonna put him around 12. But I think that he has the possibility of being, top 6. He's a great coach. I think he's a great coach. I really do. He lets people. He's a good leader of men. And I don't like his schemes sometimes, but I think he runs them effectively. I mean, there were guys open this year. as much as we say it's not a wide receiver, passing, offense. I mean, there were guys open. How about you just hit the guys that are open? So, yeah, Kevin Stefanski, my guy. He's sexy too, very sexy.
Good job, Ed. Gator.
Wrong. Correct answer is he is number 32. He is by far the worst. It's not even close. I have several reasons why. One of them being, if you listen to the earlier segment, he put injured players on the field that weren't ready to play.
He should be in jail.
Yes, it's terrible, okay? Too many injured players, and then we find out that Jarvis Landry was injured as well. Also, he ran schemes where so many players were running wide open, Baker Mayfield couldn't decide which one to throw to. Who does that? Just have one guy get open, right? Make everybody be open. Baker's looking at all these guys who are open. He can't decide who to throw to, and he gets sacked. Terrible.
Yeah.
32.
It's like, what's for dinner? There's too many choices sometimes.
Right. Too much of a good thing is a bad thing. Kevin Stefanski, 32nd.
I'm voting for Gator's answer.
All right.
Two.
Ed, I'm going to have to ask you to be quiet while Gator's answering so that he has a chance to answer unbiased. I am going to go with Ed in Columbus, though, because while I laughed my ass off during Gator's answer, we were supposed to answer these questions sincerely, not sarcastically. So, Ed, even though I fell asleep during your question,
I did too.
Yeah, I'm going with you. Roger?
I love sarcasm. I'm going with Gator.
Me too, buddy.
Ross?
Good
I'm
answer.
going with Gator strictly for the fact that Ed was cheerleading his answer. He gave up on his take 2 seconds after.
Better
Gator talked.
answer.
I
What do you
thought
want
it
me
was
to do?
Nick.
So actually, Ed voted for Gator, so I'm going to use that vote on Gator.
Okay.
I thought Nick Carnes wrote his answer as answer. Some what she was cheering.
All right. So, Gator, you've come from behind. You're down 0-1, and now you're up 2-1. You got to win one of the next two.
I'm on brink of elimination right here.
All right. Here's the fourth question. Which of the three major Cleveland sports teams is closest currently to winning a championship, Gator?
I'm going to go with the Cleveland Cavaliers, mainly because we're not even sure if the Guardians are going to play a sport this year, so they're out. And then the Browns, like I said, they've got the worst coach in the NFL. They've got all these players that are hurt and trying to play. It's without a doubt the Cavaliers. I mean, have you watched them? Word on the street is they're fun to watch. So they're probably going to win it all. And LeBron's is going to show up and, we're going to win a championship. Easy peasy. Get ready for the parade.
All right, Ross. Oh, sorry. Ed. Ed.
Yeah, go ahead and
Yeah,
judge.
let's
Just
do
go ahead
Ross
and
on this
judge,
one.
'cause you
Ed
hate my
2 points.
answers
I could do it for him.
All right.
Phone a friend.
I forgot we weren't going to the judges until after Ed answers.
It's
Do
Ed
you,
Dawg Chug
does the
usually
gentleman
happens.
yield the floor to me yet?
Because it's not rigged.
It's not
Okay.
rigged.
Proceed.
Ed, what's your answer?
Well, what a cavalier answer that was. He was just like, oh, yeah,
my God.
obviously it's the Cavs because it's closer to June. But I'm going to go with my Cleveland Guardians because they got a guy named Jose Ramirez and Shane Bieber. Those guys are really good. Don't sleep. It's baseball. And usually, shit happens like 97 and they come out of nowhere and then they win. And it's just like, wow, where did that come from? And all this focus is on, the Cavs, which I think they're going to win maybe 4 or 5 years down the road. But I think the time is now for the Guards. And go Guards! Let's get that cheered on.
All right, Ross, who had the better answer there?
I'm just getting a thrill out of hearing Guardians said so much. So I'm going with Ed, and he's right. You could just win it all out of nowhere, kind of like the Nationals did a few years ago when they weren't even the favorites. It just happens.
It does.
I don't need logic. It just happens.
Like my kids, they just happened.
Roger?
I'm going to keep Ed in the game. I got to go with Ed only because I think that putting that much pressure on this young Cavs team, by the end of March, it'll be the most basketball the majority of that roster has played in a single season in their life, and they still have 2 more months to go, and they're going to run out of gas. They're going to hit a wall, and that's what happens with young players. They need to develop and grow and become NBA players completely, and anything can happen in baseball, man. You go 500 on the road and win at home, and if you're in the show, anything can happen in the playoffs in baseball. So I'm going to go with the Guardians. It's going to be a crazy year if they even fucking play. Probably going to be 140 games, hopefully. and anything can happen. So I'm going to keep Ed in the game and not eliminate him and go with that.
All right. I am also going to stick with Ed, even though I'm basically using my theory from earlier. The Guardians would be the team I would think is the furthest away from a championship. So having said that, that means they're probably the closest.
I think, Roger, you brought up a point that I didn't even think about in terms of the Cavaliers, because they didn't even have a full season last year, right? So
Right.
guys who are in their second year haven't even had a full entire season, let alone the playoffs, which feels like it lasts for a whole nother season. So
Right.
I
Mobley.
can see him running out of steam. You're right.
Mobley's already looking tired sometimes, some nights, back to backs, and things like that.
I put all the energy into that skills challenge. That's why.
I'm reading Baker hate. I think
I love
Roger's trying to say the Cavs are going to turn into the final 2 minutes of a Browns game with Baker Mayfield. I think Roger's Baker hating right now.
All right. So I think with that, we are 2-2, which is super exciting. We're going to get down to the final question. And whoever wins this one is going to be declared the winner. Ed, we didn't think you were, you had a chance against Gator. And yet here you are, tied.
He's a handsome fellow and a well-spoken man at that. So it's a.
Don't try to win me with flattery.
All right. So
And Gator's playing hurt. He won't tell anybody, but he's playing hurt.
Stefanski's making me be here.
He's got COVID. My God, we make you unlike the Browns against the Raiders.
Right.
They had COVID, they couldn't play. Gator's playing with COVID, basically.
I don't have it anymore.
I'm
good. Clear.
And
all right. So question number 5, and this comes courtesy of our good friends at the Barking Browns, is cereal soup. Gator. I'm just kidding. This is not question number 5. I'm going to start with Ed this time. Okay. Ed, I'm actually going to ask you different questions on this one.
Of course you are.
Yeah.
That sounds subjective, right?
Well, it's the last question. It's a big deal. We're going to ask different questions. So, Ed, your question is this. I'm going to give you 1 minute to answer. Money is not an issue. You have unlimited funds to take Gator on your dream date of how you would show him a good time. Where do you take him, and what do you guys do?
Well, I'm going to get him on the jet. We're going to get on the jet, have a little bubbly like that, And I'm gonna take him to Cedar Point. I think I love Cleveland and the Sandusky area, so we're gonna do a little Cedar Point action, and then we're gonna fly that jet to Burke Lakefront. We're gonna get out, maybe catch a Guardians game. Guardians. Ross, you love Guardians, right? Helps my answer. Guardians. We're gonna
Guards,
watch
baby.
And then we're gonna eat in the flats, have a good time, maybe go to the 9 and have a nice night, if you know what I mean. Oh yeah.
Ed, you're really hurting yourself.
It's a date. I'm answering it like it's a date. We support all kinds on the Dawg Chug. We don't discriminate.
Gator, make sure you don't bring any sock puppets with you on that date, because he's
I already have them packed. Don't worry. I already got those packed. Don't worry about it.
All right. Well, let's ask Gator his question. Basically, Ed's kind of an annoying guy. How did he land such a beautiful wife that has such a great sports knowledge?
How did Ed get such a beautiful wife?
Yeah.
I've seen her drink a lot of Fireball, so I'm guessing there was a couple of those involved on the first few dates. So that's what I'm gonna say. There was a lot of intoxication happening, and then she just kind of, like Roger given his answer earlier, kind of blacked out, and when she woke up, she was married to Ed, and the rest is history.
Can you blame me?
Oh, job well done, Ed.
Thank you.
Okay. I'll start, and I absolutely.
Hey guys, me and Roger. This is the last round. We don't need any more of this. We need to make this a democracy. Roger and I are going to decide who's the winner here, and if we absolutely have to bring Andy in for a tiebreaker, we will. How's that sound?
Wow.
Great.
Fair enough.
But honestly, this is
better
going to be a
man
clean
win.
sweep here. I'm not worried about needing a tiebreaker. Obviously, it's Gator's answer. We've seen what Kelly does, and I could understand where she might make mistakes sometimes with all that Fireball she's putting down.
Guardians.
I said mistake, and I didn't even defend himself.
Oh, it's Guardians.
Roger, what do you got?
Man, Ed won the lottery, and that's just luck. It caught Kelly on she was probably just coming off a breakup, and she just went with the pity date, and so I'm gonna go with that, and I think we need Andy to come in and break the tie.
Yeah, I'm alive. He's alive. Andy, I'm alive still.
I am taking the controls away from you guys.
Don't break my heart.
All right. I thought very long and hard about this, and ultimately, I post a lot of videos where I chug a lot of alcohol, and some have accused me that I'm promoting, mass drinking, and I went to OU, so it kind of was bred into me at that point. But at the end of the day, I do feel bad that I'm posting all these chugging videos, and on the Dawg Chug, we're doing all these stupid chugs. I won Chuggy for doing the 9 shots of Fireball. So one of the reasons that we have that on is because it balances out, neutralizes it. It proves that if you drink alcohol, you could do something really stupid like marry Ed. So Gator, you win. That was a phenomenal answer.
Congratulations, Gator.
All the young ladies that are
Thank
watching
you. Well played,
Dawg
Ed.
Chug, do not drink Fireball. Do not drink alcohol in large amounts, or you might end up with a crazy asshole like Ed in Columbus.
But I can spell my name.
Man.
I can't believe I voted for you.
All right, well, that wraps it up. Gator, you have won a second time. This glass is basically yours.
Wow.
Man.
And
Shipping and handling, and I
the
can't
one,
wait.
the
It's
one
all
that-
yours, buddy.
The one I'm going to give
payments
you,
in 1999. It's all yours.
the glass that I'm going to
Need
give
my
you,
credit card
unfortunately,
information now or later?
Live. Yeah.
We just need your credit card.
Just give us your credit card information.
the glass that you've won, unfortunately, is the spit cup right here by my side that I spit into constantly, but I'm sure we can wash that out. So it's going to be amazing. I'm excited
enough.
for you to have that.
We should have a spit cam and a camera pointed at the spit cup.
Sure. Good
Because I
idea.
want to see how many times he
You get
hits
some
it.
weird followers, Roger, that you don't think you want.
Yeah, that's true.
Gator, if you ever want to make your own podcast, I'm cool. Like if you want to.
Okay.
You can
I
just
mean,
have this one. We're gonna
Probably contact Ross first, but okay, thanks.
I'll help you out. I can get you a spit cam.
Ed and Columbus gets no respect.
Hey, it's okay. I'm used to that. Like Rodney Dangerfield. It's all good.
So this has been this is like my 18th favorite episode of the Dawg Chug. Thank you, Gator, for coming back and doing it. This has been hilarious and great. Usually it's the Barking Browns that are promoting us because they come on before us, but actually they're going to be on tomorrow. Ed, what time are you going to be on tomorrow and promo the show?
At 8 p.m. with our special guest, Jeff Lloyd, we're going to be doing a special mock draft with Jacob and Nick. So check us out, 8 p.m., the Barking Brown Show. I'll be there. It'll be great. We're going to have a great time.
We
Go
love
Browns.
Jeff Lloyd on the Dawg Chug. Hopefully we got to get him to come on our show. We'll make that happen at some point.
Okay.
He's the best. I hear he likes the flats better than the wings. What's the other kind of wing?
Oh, yeah, the drummies, the flats over the
The
drummies.
drums, yeah. He's very passionate about his wing choice. Anyway, go watch the Barking Browns. It's actually even a better show than this one, if you can possibly believe that.
I don't.
So, once again, Gator, thank you for coming on. This has been a blast. Thank you, Ross. Thank you, Ed and Columbus. Sorry, I was especially a dickhead today. We do love you at the Dawg Chug. And as always, Roger, you're like the best co-host we could possibly imagine. So, from everyone at the Dawg Chug,
Hey, this is for Elfman.
Browns. I'm not doing it.